Black Bag is a 2025 American spy thriller film directed by Steven Soderbergh and written by David Koepp. It stars Cate Blanchett, Michael Fassbender, Marisa Abela, Tom Burke, Naomie Harris, Regé-Jean Page, and Pierce Brosnan, and follows a British intelligence officer tasked with investigating a list of possible traitors, one of whom is his wife. The film was released in France on March 12, 2025 by Universal Pictures, and 2 days later in the United States by Focus Features. It received critical acclaim and grossed $37.9 million on a budget of $50 to $60 million. Some interesting trivia notes. Scriptwriter David Koepp consulted with real-life spies, assets, agents and operations in order to write the spy movie. Director Steven Soderbergh said that he chose Michael Fassbender to play the keenly observant cybersecurity interrogator George Woodhouse because he knew he wouldn't be afraid to play the interiority of George. He burrowed in deep while creating a calm surface that masks a lot of the turbulence. Michael can imply a great deal without being flashy, Soderbergh would say. The National Cybersecurity Centre is an actual British intelligence and surveillance government agency in England. It is part of the government communications headquarters. It is the main intelligence organisation in the United Kingdom and is similar of nature to the NSA, the National Security Agency in the USA. Writer David Koepp would say, "Although all the spycraft was very cool, I learned a lot more than I ever expected to." He would say, "One woman told me that her job made it impossible for her to sustain a normal relationship. A line in the movie was inspired by these conversations with her." He would go on to say, "When you lie about everything, how do you tell the truth about anything? I think about it. If you want to have an affair, it couldn't be easier. You just say, 'I'll be gone for 3 days,' and you can't ask me where I'm going because you don't have the clearance. You just can't trust people, and people can't trust you. For George and Catherine, the confidential information they can't share goes into what they call their black bag." Lead actress Cate Blanchett agreed to star in this picture without even reading the script. She commented, "I just said, 'Who am I playing?' She added that she quickly hopped on board. It was written by David Koepp and directed by Steven Soderbergh, so that's all I needed to know. The film's writer David Koepp said the meaning of the movie's Black Bag title was sort of made up, saying it just sort of sounded cool. Though according to Peter Bradshaw in the Guardian UK newspaper, the phrase is slang for a piece of where secrets are kept and where married people find the truth about their spouse is hidden. Alicia Vikander, wife of Michael Fassbender, made a playlist that was used in the film. She is given special thanks billing for this in the closing credits as DJ Vicarious. A sex scene was intended to be shot with cast members Naomie Harris and Regé-Jean Page, but director Steven Soderbergh decided to have a scene with them clothed and talking instead. Harris said, "My first scene with Renee was actually a love scene, so it was literally like, hi, okay, we're going to get into bed together. It's always a little scary, like meeting someone then and simulating sex scene, but then that was removed from the final movie." She added, "Steven was like, no, you're going to do it clothed and you're just going to be talking." And I was like, okay, great. All the main cast actually met with real-life members of the UK government agencies, which are portrayed within the film. Soderbergh said he was inspired by Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, and that he wanted to create an espionage version of that film. Soderbergh also acted as the film's cinematographer and was billed and credited under the pseudonym Peter Andrews. Soderbergh also acted as the film's editor and was billed and credited under the pseudonym of his mother's name, Mary Ann Bernard. Both actors, Pierce Brosnan, of course, who played James Bond, and Naomie Harris, who previously played Miss Moneypenny, are associated with the James Bond spy series. Now, I found this to be a fascinating, fast-moving, witty and sophisticated film that really allows you to settle back into almost a sort of classic interpretation of the espionage story. With its absolutely stunning and wonderful cast, beautifully dry and witty script, complex and intriguing story, Black Bag is just one of those films that you need to sit back, relax and enjoy, and be taken on a journey by people that really know how to make a story. Once again, of course, Cate Blanchett and Michael Fassbender do what they do best and light up the screen. Fassbender, if you will, is the straight man of the piece, playing the uncompromising George Woodhouse, who loves his job but loves his wife more. Cate Blanchett here plays Catherine, George's wife, who is believed to be a mole and who is betraying her country, which George now, of course, is tasked with investigating. Tom Burke turns out a fantastic performance here as Freddie Smalls, the most unhinged of the agents, as does Regé-Jean Page as Colonel James Stokes, a managing agent whose charm and wit can't guise his real intentions. Pierce Brosnan also turns out a fun performance here as Arthur Stieglitz, the head of the operation, and it's a fantastic turn here from Marisa Abela, coming off a phenomenal performance, of course, as Amy Winehouse, who plays Clarissa DeBose, a satellite imagery specialist who's also dating Freddie Smalls. Not to mention, of course, Naomie Harris as Dr. Zoe Vaughan, the agency psychiatrist, who almost seems in over her head. Steven Soderbergh has always been a fantastic director, but where he's really masterful is getting actors to make a script believable and playing off of each other. This is a smart, sexy film, like I said, well-paced, that takes no prisoners. It's satisfyingly slick, heavily inspired by the likes of John LeClaire, James Bond, The Saint, and even some more contemporary pieces. It's a film that will keep you on the edge of your seat as it twists and turns, as it leaves you asking questions of who you can really trust within this world of complete and utter espionage. In many ways, it's spy versus spy, but with its devilishly delivered script, outstanding acting performances from all the cast, and beautiful direction here from a renowned and experienced director, this is a film that easily is palatable, and you can thoroughly enjoy and sit back and watch with eager glee. Smooth, satisfying, slick, well crafted and well acted, Black Bag gets a 9 out of 10.